So I'm dealing with a pest. The dreaded cucumber beetle. Just destroying my cucumbers and squash plants. I'm not very happy about it. So, been just doing all this damage, and I've been trying to come out here and take care of them, but you can't get them all. And I really don't want to use pesticides. So, I'll do it the old-fashioned way. Here I have some warm soapy water. And I actually already have a couple beetles in there. Those are some squash bugs that I'm going to get rid of too. Some little eggs that I found. You can just come out with like a butter knife and just scrape those off, because they hatch in about 10 days from whenever they were laid. So I'll have to come out with a butter knife and get rid of those. But if you just come out here with your glass jar, put a little soap in it, grab them if you can, knock them on the ground, pick them up, throw them in, or sometimes you can come under the leaf and just kind of tap them in. But they fly really fast, so that's also a little bummer. But yeah, I've got a bunch of squash bugs down there, and I'm gonna have to get rid of those guys too. Tomatoes are doing well. They love this humid weather. It's been so humid, and they're really just doing well and popping up. This morning we moved the meat birds out, and they're loving it. We have a super simple setup that we really love, and it works great for these guys. And I'm going to tell you guys about it. I'll just tell you how much it costs to make. So this chicken, I'm going to call it a chicken roundabout because it's not really a tractor. So super simple, really cheap. This is our second season with it. The only thing I've needed to replace is the tarp. I got a better tarp this year than I had last year, so hopefully this tarp lasts longer. We'll see. So I have two 16-foot hog panels that we zip tied each end together so it makes a nice circle, and those were $38 a piece. The next thing are the zip ties. So if you don't want to use zip ties, you can always use just wire. The chicken wire we have, obviously we put it around the outside because if you didn't, then the chickens would be able to get out and predators would be able to get in. And that cost me $27. The tarp that we got, it's a medium grade tarp. It'll keep them dry and shaded, and that cost $15. And I got all that stuff at Tractor Supply, and the grand total is $130, which is pretty good for building a shelter, you know, to house your animals outside. And I honestly think housing animals outside, as long as you have a good shelter, is the best way to do it. So these chicks are about 3 weeks old. They're just big enough to put outside. I wouldn't put them out any earlier, and it's really been warm, so I'm not worried about them being too cold or anything. So they'll be out here for another probably 6 to 7 weeks. 6 to 7 weeks they'll be out here growing, and they eat a lot less when you have them on pasture. They're just eating bugs and grass, which is great, you know, all organic stuff. And they're happy. They're a lot happier out on pasture. So this houses, I'd say comfortably 50. We have 48 in here. And they're gonna have plenty of room as they grow to walk around and exercise. And they'll have plenty of space. Really love the look of the chicken tractors that you see on Instagram and YouTube. They're so nice. They look neat and tidy. Oh, excuse you. They look neat and tidy. But if you want to do something that's just, you know, cheap and on a budget, and this is probably the cheapest way you're gonna go. Unless you wanted to use maybe like electric fencing, poultry netting, which I've never used. That's another option, I guess, but this is a pretty cheap way to do it. It's very easy to move. You can just pull it. I do it all the time by myself. You don't need 2 people. And I just move it over section by section by section. At least once a day, because if you don't move them at least once a day, then that grass that they're on just gets eaten down pretty good, and then there's just a lot of dirt. So the first time we had our chickens out on pasture was last year, and we found that this spring and summer the grass really came back really well where the chickens were last year. So they also fertilize your field, which is great. You want that. You want your field to come back richer and stronger than the year before. So it's another pro to having them outside. The clouds are really rolling in over here. Pretty sure we're gonna have a storm coming, so I'm not gonna let you guys go. But I hope you have a great afternoon, and if you'd like the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.